DreamWorks! What are you doing, man? You just released a trailer a few days ago. I know it's trailer week. We've specifically gotten a trailer from Pixar and Aardman and Minecraft and everybody else, it seems. But after just a couple days ago releasing the live-action re-adaptation of How to Train Your Dragon 1, now we are getting the sequel to the other mainline super success from DreamWorks in the form of The Bad Guys. Now, we've actually already covered a little bit of The Bad Guys before. We made an early doors video when this movie first got announced, so if you're interested in hearing about all the casting and crew details in the background and perhaps where the story is going to go just based off the books, do consider giving that video a look as well after this one to get a little bit more background context. But for now, let's see the actual mainline trailer in front of us, which, as much as I'm being completely overwhelmed by too many trailers this week anyway, I was kind of prepared for. This actually got leaked a little bit early on Twitter the other day. Although I'm not really going to be one to cover leaked content in the future, I don't think. I'm certainly not going to show it. But either way, we actually get to see it officially now with some nice high quality visuals. Although, to be fair, we were actually missing the first 20 seconds, but otherwise it's pretty on point. And it's interesting because this trailer actually seems to have pretty much all green flags across the board. And I like that, obviously. I want the movie to be good. Bad Guys was one of my favorite DreamWorks movies of recent years. But it is emblematic of something else as well, as this is very much, I'm pretty sure at this point, so late in the current DreamWorks schedule that this is likely a production that wasn't necessarily built entirely in-house at DreamWorks. As you may know, DreamWorks is making some big businessy changes on the inside, and one of the elements of that is gutting out their direct animators and instead outsourcing some of their movies. I saw this as we're gonna see a very sharp decline in the quality of productions, maybe to the likes of Megamind Rules quality, since it's no longer being done by DreamWorks anymore. It's just being outsourced to somebody else for a cheaper buck and a higher profit. But this, I mean, this looks pretty good throughout. The Bad Guys obviously has a great foundational thing to build off of, considering it's based off of a bunch of books, so the story is practically already written for you. You just need to add the flourish of good animation, and they've already set a precedent for the exact kind of style the Bad Guys sequel should have. So clearly, I guess this is just a bit of an open goal. It was easier to do than I realized, I guess. Or, you know, there are genuinely talented animators even in these outsourced studios. Because, yeah, this looks visually stunning. It's just the Bad Guys a little bit more. And it looks really fantastic. The writing's pretty good. Yeah, no, I'd say it's alright for the most part. There's nothing that really directly makes me cringe too badly. Some of it's a bit easy, but that's just me being extra critical for the sake of being critical, really. I really like the look of this, which is kind of a shame because I kind of don't want it to be good in a right reversal of things. Like the fact that DreamWorks, at the same time of gutting their animators, is also just shot for shot recreating their other movies in live action, just outright doing the other shallow, make as much money as possible move as making a Disney remake, essentially. Makes me want to expect this to be, you know, something I could clown on, but this does just look really, really stellar. Oh no, animated movie good, what a shame. And it's really interesting to see the directions they've taken, as we're actually dealing with a 5-year time skip. Not at all what I was expecting, but I like it, actually. Although, while they might be distant in the future, and what, is it 5 years after the initial movie? It probably is, isn't it? Oh no, not quite. The original movie is only 3 years old. Even still, whilst time may change forwards, apparently the soundtrack stays the same. It's still Bad Guy from Billie Eilish, and to be fair, it's a good song. That is 5 years old. We're all getting old way too quickly. Even still, I do like the direction this sequel is going. Naturally, it invites a clone of the whole team in The Bad Girls. But of course, it's not exactly the story that makes The Bad Guys the most stellar piece of movie making in recent animated years. It is, of course, the animation flourishes that it comes with. And so far, every shot seems to have at least something severely going for it to have that nice extra stylistic choice with that extra brilliant 2D blend to it. Hello there, thank you for making it halfway through this video. Come subscribe if you haven't already to keep up with animated movie trailers. We've done like 7 this week, it feels like, and there's probably gonna be more. But in case you already are, let's see the second half of Bad Guys 2 now. By all accounts, this just looks absolutely stellar, and I'm looking forward to it. Now, according to this trailer, this movie is only coming soon. We don't actually have a direct release date just yet. But considering we have Dog Man in January, and we have the How to Train Your Dragon 1 live-action remake in June next year, if I was to make a guess, probably the, you know, August-September slot that DreamWorks also likes to take up, this year it was The Wild Robot, is probably where The Bad Guys 2 is coming in. Kind of quick, I'm surprised. Everything's kind of coming at us fast, but DreamWorks is very much going for the fast and outsourced quickly. But I mean, so far the quality seems to be pretty on it. The Dogman trailer from before, I also am very on board with, and seeming to be the very last of in-house productions. And even here, it is keeping the same quality as if DreamWorks themselves actually made it. It could turn out that this is still an in-house production, since only around about now are animators really being culled, and obviously they've gotten far enough to make this teaser trailer, so maybe the timelines just aren't in sync just yet. But everything I'm seeing so far seems to at least indicate that DreamWorks absolutely have still got it, even next year, because they've already backlogged it well enough. Beyond the first movie and now this sequel movie, there was also a couple of holiday seasonal TV episodes. The Halloween one wasn't anything to jump and shout about, you know, just kind of naff TV content. But to be able to upgrade up from that initial naff impression is great to see. This is clearly the gem that DreamWorks really shouldn't fumble. It's their best other than Puss in Boots as of late. And I'm glad they've been able to keep up that same style and flourish. The animation of the characters and the way they sort of pop into action is brilliant. I'm sure there's a million details in animation flourish that I legitimately just won't understand. And overall, it just looks like an iconic movie in the making. Again, I'll always have my reservations on the business side of the studio itself, but looking on the surface at just the products they're coming out with, and reluctantly, I think they've kind of still got it. It'll be interesting to see if beyond this point we start to see a decline in quality, or if honestly they've just made it and business successful with more profits and cutting out their workers does not equate to the actual quality of their products by the way they've managed to make things work, which is, you know, bothersome in its own way. But as a relative DreamWorks hater, when they're not doing the Wild Robot, maybe they are slowly dragging me back on their side. They're still making good movies, whether I want them to or not. And hey, I'm here because I love animation, so really I should be on board with an animated movie actually being good. Today we are 2 for 2 for absolutely brilliant trailers. I've yet to have lunch. I've been too busy. I literally just finished rendering the Wallace and Gromit movie trailer that came out today, and then immediately as I finished it, this one popped up. So hopefully there's not a trifecta today. I've already done 2 days with 2 trailers. Gotta have a break. I'm gonna have to skip bed at this rate. Either way, against all of the flummox of trailers that have come out this week, Minecraft, live action How to Train Your Dragon, Aardman, Pixar, sure, the Coca-Cola AI-generated advert if you want to include it. This is probably second best, I would say. I'm a little bit biased towards the British stop-motion movie because it's so very me in vibe, but this is so far otherwise the best of the bunch. Well done, DreamWorks. Somehow you're at the top of your game. But on that note, I will finally end it off there. My name's been Daz. Thank you very much for reaching the end of this video. Do tell me your thoughts on this movie. Are you super on board because product good, or do you think there's nefarious things going on the business side of things? Will the quality decrease after this? Like, what are your thoughts on DreamWorks? Am I pulling at straws here? I'd love to get your thoughts on animation as a whole, and I'll see you probably in like 15 minutes for the next trailer. Theories are that there's still going to be an Elio trailer to put before the Moana movie that's going to come out next week. So, like, cinema trailers are a thing. We'll wait for those. I don't know, man. I'll see you in like 2 minutes. Come see all of our other trailer videos. They're all out there now, so far. And I'll see you in a little bit.